Hello and welcome. I'm Jenny Hall. Thanks for joining me for another card making tutorial. Today I'm demonstrating how I have stamped Sweet Little Something stamp set. This is an image of a bunny that is a layering stamp. There are 3 images that need to be stamped on top of one another and perfectly lined up in order to get just the right look. I'm going to use 2 different shades of brown plus the Versamark Watermark Clear Sticky Ink. I like to start with the flattest layer. Basically, it's the solid image. This is going to be my dark color, but it will be the 2nd generation of ink. A solid stamp is not always the easiest to get a best coverage on, so be careful to add enough ink to your stamp. Stamp it off once and then stamp down to the paper. The Stamparatus is a perfect tool to be able to help you line everything up. The great thing about being able to take the door off is that you can add your ink or clean the stamp and not lose the position. It is so great. I'm going to add the 2nd layer now, and each layering stamp set has its own landmarks on where you need to add the next layer. Figuring that part out, sometimes the stamp company tells you, other times you figure it out. So there's this little tiny white spot underneath the edge of the ear on the right hand side. That lines up on all of the 3 images for me. The 2nd layer was done in crumb cake, which was a light color. So I've gone with the lowest. First stamp was a 2nd generation of my base color, and then a full generation for the 2nd image of crumb cake, which is a lighter color. It's going to fill in those middle areas. And the 3rd most detailed layer is the original color but in a 1st generation. So I'm tying all of these colors together. After I have added the top most detailed section, I leave everything in place and add Versamark ink to go directly over those details. Now look at how intense it makes those fine details on the rabbit. It is a perfect way for you to be able to draw more attention to the areas that you want to really show up the details. To feature also on this project, I'm using the Detailed Floral Thinlits dies, and I'm going to use a Memories and More card from Sweet Soiree to be the background underneath it. So this is kind of like a peek through area. It's a perfect way to be able to create some texture visually and to the touch, and also just get a little bit of interest. This is a wonderful way to grab some of the supplies that are in our stash and put them to good use. The card packs from Memory and More Sweet Soiree are free right now as a free with purchase celebration item. And they really are great. They go a long way in your craft supply. I've used some mini glue dots in between the little die cut detailed area to hold that in place, and snail adhesive on the rest of it, and this will be added to a whisper white area that is 1/8 of an inch larger. So this is going to be a good foundation for the rabbit to be featured on. I'm going to fussy cut the rabbit and stay pretty close to the stamped lines. I don't want to give too much of that white space around him because he's going to be sitting on top of the floral area. I've grabbed a piece of the shimmer ribbon that's also a celebration item, and it works perfectly with this Sweet Soiree card pack. To attach the ribbon, I've added a little bit of snail adhesive to the back side of this panel, and I'm only going to cover the front and then have it be secured. This unit will be added with mini glue dots, and I realized I forgot to stamp my sentiment. Does that happen to you? It happens to me way too many times. And sometimes when I'm stamping a sentiment, the words don't come out as clear as I'd like. That's when I grab the black journaling pen from Stampin' Up, and I just go in and fill in that area. So once the card is finished, it's not obvious that I did a little bit of a stamping boo-boo. I'm going to tie a bow and add just next to the little rabbit, and this card is pretty much done. So I made most of my flash from making the focal point of the bunny. By using the detailed floral thinlits, I've created some texture, and I've used some good products that I already have in my supplies. The inside of the card is kept very simple with a small flower stamp from the same stamp set. This stamp set is called Sweet Little Something, and it's only available in the Occasions catalog until May the 31st. It's available today in my online store, and you can grab your celebration items for free only through March 31st. If you have any questions, reach out to me with a comment or by email. I'm happy to help. Thank you so much for joining me today. All of the products are listed down below in the video description. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching the video. Have a good day!